the way later.
Yeah.
But I love me some Wanda Satterwhite.
Wow.
That was my godchild. God gave me her. We had something in common.
With Rymir's brother's father? Is that
No.
Okay.
So well, Ramir's brother's father was her on and off boyfriend in high school.
Okay.
They were all kids, under 18. And then somewhere in there, Wanda told me she had ran into what they call, his name was not Jayz back then, his name was Rock.
Oh.
They used all street names. And it was an area where they did a lot of dealing.
Okay. So he was, because he did talk about being a drug dealer.
Yeah, so
he was dealing drugs at this time.
So that's how she connected with him through a friend of her named Kenesha or Lakeisha, somebody Allen, who was very known in the affidavit. The person is real. I saw her. So nonetheless, that's how they met, and they went off and had their fun together and fling, and then I guess fling. She said they were partying, and she put this all in the affidavit, and they eventually had sex, and she said the condom broke, and then they had been taken off to New York, but she did tell Rock at the time that she was 18 or some whatever number she said. I think she said 18, even though she was 16, and she got pregnant. And then they didn't know each other like that. And he did come back in the community, from what she told me, looking for her for the second time, the date, whatever, because that was their area where they scouted these men doing what they do. And she said that her mom told her, "You disappear again, I'm gonna put you away." That's what she told me. So she decided not to go off with him, so she didn't go.
So he wanted her to leave with him.
Yeah, he was. I think he was looking for a consistent thing. So at the end of the day, it was a one night stand on how, unfortunately, when Rymir wasn't pregnant, and at the time she didn't know she was pregnant. And then he came back, and he must have came back within a reasonable amount of time, week, 2 weeks, whatever it was. And her mother told her not to disappear again, because she had disappeared the last time because they were off in New York.
Okay.
This is what she told me. And at the end of the day, she didn't go, but I understand it to be true that Wanda told me that when he found out that she was with child, he came looking for her. But by then, Wanda's mother had moved. In the day, it is what it is, but Wanda says she never knew his real name. She only knew his stage name. He was going to overseas at the time, and he had asked her about it. And of course, that never materialized. But at the end of the day, this is what she said in regard to, the coming together of that relationship. So make a fast forward to, as Rymir said, he did have that timeline right when he got about 12 or whatever, because she was saying so she got away from this relationship, and she told me it took her 5 years after she got away to get her head together. So then I went to the court in Philadelphia, because I wasn't living in Philly, and told the court that she wanted to do what she needed to do because she had some struggles with this. And they said, well, why did she take so long? And I told them that she she was a victim of her circumstances and was a part of domestic violence, which was part of the delay. And immediately the judge told me to tell her to come in. So she went in, and that was actually in 2010. This case started in Philadelphia. She had had some breathing problems and things of that nature with asthma. And that was the other reason why she needed help. And she had saw death. And even though it wasn't her time, she felt like the time was coming. And she wanted to make sure her child was taken care of, because she knew the other child was that wanted to live on and off boyfriend, and he would be fine. But she wanted to make sure her child, Rymir, was fine. As I look at it now, on what Rymir is going through in this whole, I call it rejection campaign. But we know it's deeper than that. There's a brand, that's a part of this too, right? People's lifestyles and a lot.
We talked about it. Did you hear me discuss that?
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. But at the end of the day, we never was about that. In the very beginning, they were working with me. When I had this child in 2011, because the mother's tried in 2010, I went back to the court. But then, she got gravely ill.
Views, conversations, and opinions expressed on this channel could be subjective or objective and are also for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Here on The Mix, we encourage and implore you to conduct your own research.
He said, "Godma, can you just please make sure you take care of Rymir? I want you to be his guardian, blah, blah, blah." And she said, "Promise me." And I said, "Okay, I just promised her."
Because he didn't have no father on record. So,
no.
But the other son did. So it's basically like you're stepping in to be.
She wanted to secure it, right?
Yeah.
She felt like that she needed to know he gonna be all right. And I had to assure her that. Because
what was her reaction when she found out that, Rock had made it to Jay-Z and he on TV? Like,
right.
What are the odds of that? Like, I'm looking for him. There the motherfucker is right there. Right. There's your daddy.
She saw him on TV. She started writing Rock Nation. That's when she started writing letters. Because when you look on the blogs and other places, you'll hear people talk about, yeah, I heard about that when he was 13. She was writing letters then, and she was. She told me she kept writing letters because back then there was no internet, so she was writing handwritten letters, saying what she was saying, and they just got ignored. But I have to say that when I came into the picture to try to bring it together, at the time he had Jennifer Justice, which was his attorney at Roc Nation, and she was trying to resolve the matter, and they were trying to do it. They were trying to resolve it, but they felt that because he just got married, that there was a situation with that, and they left it at that. But I knew exactly what they were saying because I was trying to do what was in the best interest of the child. And at one point, they wanted Rymir to be on their label and some other things because by that time I had custody of him in 2011
So they
in
were trying
Jersey.
to give him a career?
Yeah.
To do what?
Well, Jayz ain't crazy. He realized this child is mine. He knew. But at the end of the day, and he got a lot of enemies, right?
Yeah.
I need to get somebody on my side. So I believe, this is what I discerned, that he wanted, his child to be with him and make sure he takes care of him, blah,
So they
blah,
were
blah.
going to pay him through the label as like maybe an employee or something.
Well, let me back up. So the mother did the thing in 2010, right?
Okay.
Then here comes 2011. I'm in New Jersey. I take the kid, go to the court to try to get custody, and I did get it.
Okay.
In that mix, he got served because I was trying to do the custody and the college support because by then he's older in New Jersey. That's what it's called, right?
Okay.
So he gets the information, and make a long story short, we start talking, me talking with his in-house attorneys, and we're trying to resolve the matter. So in the resolving one of them was, I want my kid. So the way something might have gotten in his head, and he left his heart. Because at one point he was trying to do what was in the best interest of Rymir, which was good. And I was making the decision when I got custody because the judge told me two things. He said, get the kid out of high school, because he was still in high school, and he said, get him health insurance. That's what I was ordered to do. And that's what I did. And in that, he was like, in between that, he was like, they were thinking about bringing Rymir on the label. I said, no, I don't think he should go on the label now. He got to get out of high school. And I'm glad I did because Rymir felt that this might not have been to his advantage, but this is what was going on then. So when we were in Jersey, that took place. So here, the mother's gravely ill. I'm taking care of the kid. We're doing what we got to do. And then that was 2011. So then in 2012, I had to go back to Philadelphia to get the paternity stuff transferred to New Jersey because there was a little paperwork blips. And that's when the drama came. That's when Mr. Carter's attorneys comes into court in 2012 and say, hey, you can't ask me to do no college support and nothing because he ain't got no contacts with the state of New Jersey. No properties, no nothing. Well, we knew that was wrong. And at the time, I had an attorney. My attorney took the things that this other attorney said and relied upon it, which were lies. As a result, I told him, I said, I know his property is in New Jersey and he's connected, etc. So
basically he was just saying the court didn't have jurisdiction.
Right. Personal or subject, because you need both, but you only need one personal jurisdiction if you're just trying to do paternity.
Hey everyone, welcome to the mix. Like this video, share this video, sub up if you have not already done so. For everyone, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be in tune with all the content I drop on my channel. If you're interested in donating, hit that Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. It's in the description section. Okay, you guys, without further ado, I've done quite a few videos on, of course, Jay-Z, and I know you guys are probably like, the mix, you're always going in on Jay-Z and da-da-da-da, black people, blah, 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 blah. I've had a couple conversations with some people offline or whatever when it comes to the Jay-Z's, the Diddy's, character integrity. I'm big on that principality, regardless what your race is, culture, background, whatever. I'm huge on integrity. I'm huge on fairness. I'm huge on accountability. Not saying people are perfect or I'm perfect, etc., etc. But when there's some character flaws in this instance, when it comes to apparently, in my opinion, Jay-Z, it just stings me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like people getting mistreated, misused, manipulated. I just don't like that. I don't care if you're famous or if you're not famous. And when that radar pops off in my brain, it's like, no, I see right through you. So as you all can see, and based on that audio, that clip I played in the beginning, that's from Tasha K, a previous interview she did with Rymir Saturmeyer, I think Satur with, excuse me, Godmom. Rymir, just to give you guys background story. Okay, so that audio heavily edited for time purposes because and that interview was conducted by Tasha K. So head on over there, watch it at your own leisure. It's a great interview. It was done about 6-7 months ago, I believe so. So, but at any rate, you guys, this paternity suit, as you can see, the FBI was allegedly involved, but this lawsuit has taken a new life of its own because it's been going through the courts, as you heard in that audio, since 2010 state courts, etc. But now it's in federal court. So with that being said, again, the audio was heavily edited for time purposes, but that was Rymir Saturmeyer. Excuse me if I'm saying his name wrong. That is Jay-Z's alleged son, who is a full-grown adult now. I believe he's over 30, but he and his mom, not the lady that was on there, his godmom, his biological mom, who has since passed. I think she passed maybe 2011, 2012, something like that, when he was underage, a teenager, and she fell ill to some type of sickness. But at any rate, they had been trying to get this paternity situation resolved. So it seems like it was working out fine until, based off of what I've been hearing and reading over the years, many years, until Jay-Z married Beyonce. Seems like Jay-Z was willing to step forward and do the right thing, you guys. And then things changed and took a turn for the worse. But let me go ahead, you guys, and head on over to X, formerly known as Twitter, because everyone was thinking like this lawsuit, it's been in the news. It's been in the, I'm going to say the news, like social media, because mainstream media, in my opinion, it seems like Jay-Z them, Rock Nation them, Desiree them, in my opinion, has a lock on the mainstream media, telling their narrative the way they want to tell it, or shutting people down, shutting platforms down, shutting pages down, using their power and weaponizing it. And I don't like that either, in my opinion. It's being alleged that they've been doing that. So you're not going to hear this on mainstream media. You're not going to see this on NBC, ABC, blah, 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 TMZ. You're not like that. Maybe TMZ, but they'll spin it, in my opinion, in Jay-Z's favor. Anyway, so this lawsuit is valid. It has made it to federal court. These people have been gone through a lot. Jay-Z's alleged son, Rymir, and his godmom. So let me head on over to X, formerly known as Twitter. But like I said, you guys, when it comes to situations like this or just anything, I'm big on principality. I'm big on integrity. I'm big on character, good character. And when it just stings me when when I see right through someone who's being manipulative, power trip, using their authority, abusing their authority. I don't like that. I don't, especially when it's against your own people. So let me head on over there, and then I'll come back, you guys, with my final thoughts, reaction, and opinion. But this lawsuit is valid from a federal level. Here we go. Okay, you guys, this is X, formerly known as Twitter. According to the Diddy docket, it says here, it's true that Jay-Z is ordered to respond by July 18th and that's July 18th of this year, you guys, to two lawsuits alleging deceit by concealment, abusive process, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, unjust enrichment in connection with pursuit of paternity for Rymir. The Diddy docket also posted the case number, Rymir Satterthwaite versus Sean Corey Carter. And this is case number 225-CV-04251, California Central District Court. And it says here, order granting defendant Sean Corey Carter's ex parte application for additional time to respond to complaint to July 18, 2025 by Judge Fernando L. Anili Rocha. So basically, what this is saying, upcoming events, and this is looks like was grabbed from a court related website that tracks cases in California. And what it's saying is that the court is allowing Jay-Z time to respond to this lawsuit ex parte application to extend time to file answer to July 18th, because the judge ordered, you guys, and this is the mix interjecting, I don't think it's to submit a paternity test, but actually by July 18th to respond to all these claims filed by his alleged son, Rymir Satterthwaite. And mind you, guys, his mom has since passed away, but his mom was trying to resolve all of this prior to passing away. Her son was under 18. So this has been going on for years, you guys. So let me go ahead and dive into this article I came across. Okay. The Diddy docket again. And shout out to the Diddy docket. Jay-Z accuses man who claims to be his secret son of harassment, making fabricated claims in court via U.S. Weekly. So basically, he hasn't responded. He hasn't responded to the courts. He's asking the courts for additional time to respond. Basically, he doesn't want to, address this by July 18th, all the claims that Rymir filed on federal court in California. However, Jay-Z has responded in an article conducted by U.S. Magazine.com, as you can see. So it says here, Jay-Z accuses man who claims to be his secret son of harassment, making fabricated claims in court. So Jay-Z has responded to, his team has responded to the press, but not the courts. They're asking the courts for additional time. Okay, the article further cites Jay-Z fired back at the man claiming to be his secret son for his fabricated allegations and asked the federal judge to intervene, U.S. Weekly can exclusively report. Let me just tell you guys this. Y'all just heard what I read. Rymir filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z in federal court. This is in federal court now. The state's courts has failed this kid, his godmom, and his mother with whatever alleged scheme scams, went on throughout all the years, with Jay-Z avoiding, evading, and all of that accountability, answering the paternity request. So that's null and void. So Rymir now stepped it up, pushed it to the federal higher courts. That's what he did. Yes. So now, why this article saying this? Jay-Z is asking the federal judge to intervene. Dude, what? Intervene? Boy, answer that claims by the 18th. You want additional time. Anyway, according to this article, and you guys, always, source-wise, follow who these celebrities are connected with. Just, because articles from mainstream platforms to middle platforms to lower level platforms, some of them are bought and paid for, and they spin a narrative in the celebrity's favor. or whoever it is, politics, whatever. So, according to court documents obtained by U.S., Jayz, real name Sean Carter, called the recent federal lawsuit brought by Rymir Satterwhite just the latest in Satterwhite and his caregivers' decades-long harassment. So basically, U.S. Weekly got the lawsuit, same lawsuit that everyone else received, and Jayz is responding to this through the press. The fabricated allegations, and this is what Jayz is saying, his team or whoever, the fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed and rejected in multiple other courts, and Satterwhite's continued harassment of Jayz and disregard of those orders has already resulted in a contempt order. Whatever. Jayz, 55, said he only learned about Satterwhite's new lawsuit on June 3rd. He asked the court for additional time to put together his official response. Wow. Y'all, what y'all think? Wouldn't you just take the DNA test as an official response? It's being alleged that because that Jayz avoided this for years because the mother was, I think, 1'5" or 1'6", and Jayz was in his mid-20s. But back then, you guys, I've said this before in other videos, it was this whole age ain't nothing but a number era, which was going on back then. Was it right? Was it wrong? It's for you to determine and decide. When I was in high school, I seen older guys in their 20s coming to pick up some of my classmates. You know, my classmates were 15, 16, and a guy 22, 23, 24, 25, and picking them up in drop tops and all of that. So that was the culture back then. And y'all have to remember, Jayz wasn't this super famous. He wasn't this super rich. And Jayz is old. Let's keep it real. I'm old hell for the era. So, you know, he's older, and there's nothing wrong with being older. So the article further cites his lawyer argued Jayz will be irreparably prejudiced without additional time to evaluate and prepare his response to the complaint. So basically, the lawyer is like, Judge, if you don't give him time, then that would mean you not being fair to Jayz. That's what this means. So the article further cites the ROCNATION founder's attorney said they contacted Satterwhite's caregiver to request additional time to respond, but she hung up on her. And the reason the lady is fed up. The caretaker means the godmother. She's fed up. Satterwhite, 31, filed a federal lawsuit against Jayz on May 6th. The case filed without a lawyer accused the music mogul of attempting to keep him silent about Jayz being his father. Jayz is the biological father of Satterwhite, his complaint alleged. The article further cites Satterwhite's claim his mother, Wanda Satterwhite, yes, that's Rymir's mom's name, Wanda, had relations with Jayz in the 1990s. He said his mother is now deceased. He said he has been cared for by his godmother, who has faced unrelenting efforts by Jayz and his enablers to suppress the truth and silence those who dared to speak it. Rymir explained he filed paternity suits against Jayz, but they were dismissed. Rymir claimed the mogul and his team committed fraud. Upon multiple courts misrepresented facts and exploited legal systems in multiple jurisdictions to suppress Rymir's paternity claim and prevent legal accountability. Boom. The article further cites, he also suggested Jayz's celebrity played a role in the cases being dismissed. One case in New Jersey was dismissed after a judge found it did not have jurisdiction over Jayz, according to a 2015 report from Page 6. Rymir also accused Jayz of constantly refusing to submit to a DNA test. He said he has chosen instead to obstruct and manipulate the legal process. That's what I was saying earlier, y'all. Using your power, your influence, abusing it. Basically, that's what this is. You're abusing your authority to get your way. You're weaponizing that. Rymir, also, the article further cites, Rymir also claimed his car was pow 6 times, which he took as a clear message intended to silence him. Woo! In this suit, Rymir said he was not seeking back child support, but damages from Jayz for his alleged actions over the years. Specifically, he said he suffered harm due to the wrongful dismissal of his paternity suits seeking child support and college funds. In addition, he said he suffered emotional and psychological distress, anxiety, public embarrassment, and stress-induced health and mental health complications. His caretaker denied all claims of wrongdoing. Okay, everyone, so what are your thoughts? Drop some comments in the chat. Let's keep it respectful and peaceful. Let me just say this really quickly. Head over to Tasha K. TK's YouTube channel and watch the entire interview. I shared some clips, audio clips of what that interview detailed, a little bit of that, just to give you guys and bring you up to speed, or for those who do not know where this all kind of started from. However, let me just issue a disclaimer, as I did in the beginning, it is edited. The audio is edited. So head on over there. I think the interview is about 1 to 2 hours long. And Rymir's godmom is giving just a lot of details, full details, without it being edited, etc., from my end. So, but yeah, and shout out to Diddy Docket for providing the actual case information, case number, all of that. A lot of people did not believe that this was a federal lawsuit and that Jayz had to respond by July 18th. And let me just be clear, he's not responding to paternity, meaning giving his DNA. He's responding, as you heard from that article, to the claims that Rymir Stoudemire, his alleged son, has filed against him. Basically abuse of power, basically fraud, just basically using his power and authority to manipulate, to influence, and this is all alleged, and illegal tactics and actions via the court systems from a state level, just to not give up his DNA, you know. So, and it is being alleged, and I think I spoke about this earlier, that the mom, his mom, who is no longer here, was under age, was 115 or 16, and it's being, and I want to be fair, I believe she probably lied about her age, and Jayz thought she was 18, but that wasn't the case. She was underage, and he, I think 25, 26 or 27, don't quote me on that. So but because Jayz does not respond, this is getting really, really messy, you know, for Jayz, Sean Carter to respond to this. Wow, insane. But let me know your thoughts, you guys, down in the chat. And I'm going to say this to you guys. Back then, and just say if Jayz was aware of Rymir mom's age, and they both were aware, let's just say hypothetically, if that is the case back then, you guys, and I've said this before, different era, different times, and Jayz didn't come for money. He is not who he is today. He was not like that back then. If you think about it, so many different urban areas. I was 14, 15, 16, out in the streets. We didn't have social media, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have cell phones, so we made our own fun. We did some things. I'm glad they didn't have social media, cameras everywhere. It wasn't cameras on the street corners, y'all. Man, back then, shoes, we did a lot and hung out with a lot of people, females, males, all of that. Like I said before, I was in high school. It was guys probably in their mid-20s picking up some of my peers, 15 to 16 to 17 years old, and these guys in their mid-20s. So that was the era back then. And like I said, it's up to you to decide if that was good or bad. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised how the guys were moving back then. And Jayz, he's 55, Diddy in his 50s. I mean, it was a different era. And not just saying this applied to black men. No. It applied to other races and cultures too. So sometimes guys, they just like young girls, young females. And it is what it is. To each his own, as long as no one is being abused or and it's consensual, etc. So we were outside running amok back then in that era, and like I said, the age ain't number, the number was thriving back then. So but I'm not surprised if y'all think that Jayz went out there slinging his line from city to city, urban city to city, because back then they weren't looped in. These black entertainers weren't looped in with white folks like that. Let's keep that real. They barely had a seat at the table. They barely could even serve the table. If you get my point. So when you come to cities like Chicago, when you go to Detroit, Compton, LA, Brooklyn, Jamaica, Queens, Bronx, the different urban areas, Houston, just Dallas, urban areas. Just think about all of that. These fellas, they were really driving on two tour buses, and they would fly in and out here. Some people who met a lot of these celebrities on planes, they was flying regular seats. They weren't even in first class. So they weren't getting it back then like that. But at any rate, this is heating up. Shout out to Rymir. He and his mom been fighting this for years, you guys, as you heard in that clip, and if that part wasn't in the clip, again, head back over to the TK YouTube channel and listen to the full interview. But the article did touch on, they've been trying this for over 10 years now. I think it's been 15 to 20 years. So this is crazy. It sounds like Jayz wanted to do the right thing at one point, but a switch turned on, somebody got in his head, and things went downhill. So this is all unfortunate. Jayz, we will see how he will respond from a legal perspective. The judge did give Jayz time to respond, so the deadline for Jayz to respond is not by July 18th. It has been extended. I don't know what the extension is, but yeah. So let me know your thoughts, you guys, down in the chat. I'll do my best to keep you guys abreast. Like this video, share this video. I'm going to run some polls. Do you believe this is his son? And also to you guys, do you believe Jayz has manipulated and abused his power, wealth, and authority to get his way with the courts from a judicial perspective, with the judges, the attorneys? They've been on his side, allegedly. And do you think allegedly that he, probably paid them off? So talk to you guys soon. Bye.